Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video, and in today's video I will show you guys how you can really dominate the game with Lulu. I wanna say though, Lulu is already like a pretty broken champion, but the thing is people really like to see Lulu as the type of champion that just buffs her allies, right? Like where you just buff your allies and that's it really. But today I'm gonna show you that there's really way more behind Lulu and that you can actually seriously carry fights and that she also does a lot of damage. I'm first gonna explain to you how to build Lulu. If you wanna skip to the gameplay, there's gonna be timestamps in the description. By the way, real quick, excuse my setup. I'm literally holding my mic right now. I am at a friend's house, and you know, I literally brought my laptop with me and my old camera, so it could crash again. You know, we could get the old camera crash. I just kind of want to keep making videos, even though I'm chilling with my friends. So you know, just quickly doing this. So excuse the video quality, excuse everything else. It's it's just gonna be for like 2 videos or something. So now let's talk about how to build Lulu. So I only have a screenshot here because I can't mirror my phone. I don't have my capture card. So let's talk about how to build Lulu. About the boots that you want to go, I really recommend you to start with boots. It's really good on Lulu, guys, and there's several reasons for that, but let me just tell you, get Ionian Boots of Lucidity. Ionian Boots of Lucidity is going to allow you to spam your abilities. You know, it gives you a lot of ability cooldown, and it's going to make your summoner spells have lower cooldowns as well, which is really huge. Get the Redemption right here. You could also go for Locket, but I really, like, in 90% of the games, I would go for Redemption because, guys, the Redemption is pretty broken. Like the 10% heal, 10% damage on the enemies is really big, especially during the dragon fight, guys. You want to go for Locket if the enemy has like a full burst oriented composition. So if they have like especially Katarina, like if the enemy has a Katarina, you really want to get Locket because it denies the burst damage that you can deal, but otherwise just get the Redemption. After the Redemption, Ardent Sensor. So if you have a good ADC with you, you go for the Ardent Sensor. If you do not have a good ADC with you, you're much better off going for the Harmonic Echo and then going for the Rabadon's Death Cap, because Ardent Sensor is really only good if, as I said, if you have a good attack damage champion, because you're going to be buffing them a lot with it. You know, even though you're also going to do a lot of damage yourself, Ardent Sensor is just pretty much the perfect item for Lulu because of the second ability, third ability, no, not the second, sorry, the third ability and the ultimate. It all it all procs the Ardent Sensor. So after the Ardent Sensor, you want to go for Harmonic Echo, the perfect item for Lulu, guys, in the mid game, late game, as like so good. The bonus healing that it provides you every time you shield an ally, absolutely huge, and it also gives you ability haste. After that, actually, as your second item, you could also go for the Umbro's thingy. You know, this item right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. This, which the item between Rabadon's Death Cap and between the Harmonic Echo. So this item is severely underrated. Now, let me tell you about this item. This item is good for the magic resist that it gives you. It gives you like 50 magic resist, which is absolutely huge. Now you want to go for this item as your second or third item if the enemy has like ability power assassins, or if they just have a lot of ability power. Now if the enemy has an Evelynn jungle, you always want to get this item as your second item, always, because if you do not, Evelynn is always going to one-shot you, because she's going to be like, if the Evelynn is good, she's going to focus you as a Lulu, because you know, you're Lulu, you're the one that's buffing your entire team. So if you're against an Evelynn, Akali, even like Ziggs mid lane, like champions that just do a lot of ability power damage, you're much better off going for this item, for the Umbro's, whatever it's called, Umbro's Glaive, I think, instead of a Harmonic Echo. Otherwise, don't go for the item. If you feel like you don't need magic resist, just go for the Ardent Sensor, then you go for the Harmonic Echo, and then you go for the Rabadon's Death Cap, guys. And see, for your last item, it's completely situational. I put the Protector's Vow there because it's generally going to be a nice last item, because in the very late game, it provides you armor, so it's going to make you tankier, and it provides your allies armor when they get dived, right? So they don't get one-shotted. That's what Protector Vow is really good at. So about the runes, you want to go for Ari. Ari is really nice. I see some people go for Font of Life, but Ari is better, guys, because the bonus barrier that it provides with your third ability and your ultimate is really big. So I really recommend Ari. It's perfect for Lulu. Also, Ari deals a lot of bonus damage when you actually play aggressively with your third ability. For your second rune, you want to go for weakness. I mean, there's really no other good rune, and you know, some of your ability, like a lot of your abilities trigger weakness. Your first ability triggers weakness because you slow the enemy. Your second ability triggers weakness if you polymorph them, and your ultimate triggers weakness because you're gonna knock up all the enemies around the ally that you ultimate. So always go for weakness. For my third rune, I go for loyalty, which gives you and your ally a lot of magic resist and armor. This is really good in the laning matchup, especially, guys. Really good in the laning. It's gonna make you guys both very tanky. Now for my 4th rune, I use Mana Flow Band because I really want to be able to spam my abilities, because you build a lot of ability haste in the early game because you get the Ionian Boot of Lucidity. So it's really good to have the Mana Flow Band so you can actually really spam your abilities. So to go to the gameplay, I actually have to do it like this. Let's see how it works. So as I said, excuse the quality because there's gonna be some glitches to it. Let me just quickly set it up properly. Yeah, 1080p. Let me see if it looks good on here. It looks perfect. So this is how I'm gonna show you guys the game. Let me just make my camera a bit smaller. Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is not what I want to do. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm still gonna make the video, even though I'm not at home. I'm still gonna do it. But there's gonna be a little bit of glitches and things like that. But okay, let's now focus on the video. Because Lulu, really, as I said, Lulu is. We all know that Lulu is pretty broken, right? She's still pretty broken. And let me just tell you that if you pick Lulu with either Jinx or Vayne, she becomes even more broken. And here you can see, I knew who this Jinx was. It's a player, like I know this guy from Fanglory. I'm pretty sure it's the same player. And he's really good, right? He's a really good Jinx player. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick Lulu, you know? I'm a good Lulu and we have a good Jinx, so it's gonna be a perfect fit. So Lulu is really recommended if you especially play duo queue, because if you play Lulu with a trash ADC, it's not gonna be easy to be very effective, right? Because even though you can do a lot of damage, Lulu is still a funneling champion. You have to keep that in mind. So you are kind of buffing your allies. That's the thing. So if we can finally... Oh, I'm not even starting the video. Sorry. There it is. Yeah, I think you can hear the game pretty well. I hope you can at least. So you can see there's some glitches, but I hope it's not too bad. So, okay. Let's talk about how to lane with Lulu, because there is... Lulu can be very aggressive in the lane. Like with Lulu, you can win your lane pretty easy, I would say. The first thing that is really good about Lulu, which is the aggressive play, which is using your 3rd ability on the enemy, right? Your 3rd ability to damage. And then after your 3rd ability, you also use your 1st ability. And the thing is, you can literally auto-aim your 1st ability because it's always gonna hit. One of your fairies is gonna go on the enemy and your 1st ability is always guaranteed gonna hit them, guys. So that's basically the aggressive way of Lulu. But the bigger power is shielding your ally. So let me tell you when you should shield your ally. It's not like Lulu is not like just shield your ally all the time. That's not how it works, guys. The way that it works is you shield your ally exactly when he's gonna take damage. So if the enemy goes on your ally, for example, if the Varus charges up his arrow and is trying to shoot at my Jinx, that's when you use the 3rd ability. Exactly before the arrow hits, because you're gonna be blocking all the damage. So right now here, this was too late. You see that this one was too late. So it's actually pretty hard to play Lulu, guys, because if you want to play her effectively, you have to use your 3rd ability exactly when one of your allies is gonna take damage. So there I screwed it up, as you saw. I screwed it up. I should have shielded him a bit earlier, but I'm gonna do it way better in this game. So a tip that I have for you on how to do this better is you really pay attention to the enemy. You kind of have to outsmart them, because it's not always going to be obvious when the enemy is going to damage your ally, right? Like, it's not always going to be obvious. For example, Sona, I cannot really see when she's going to use her ability to see the blue ability that deals damage. But when you're against champions like Varus, for example, you can clearly see that he's charging up his arrow, so you can clearly see when he's going to shoot it. So Lulu would be quite good against those types of champions, because it's really easy to block damage from them, right? But that's like to get the most value out of Lulu in your lane, you really have to use your 3rd ability whenever your ally is gonna take damage. Because first of all, they're gonna tank the damage, but secondly, of course, you're buffing your ally as well, right? Your ally is gonna deal more damage. My Jinx is gonna deal more damage. So it's absolutely perfect if you use it correctly. If you time it perfectly, you should, like, look, this was perfect. The timing of this one was perfect. Sona went on my ally and I did perfect timing. However, we still got wrecked because I suck. But I just wanted to... Look, this is perfect. See? My Jinx is going in. I don't want to be the one that's frontlining. Let your ally frontline. And all you do is you buff your allies and you slow the enemies. Basically, you do your thing on Lulu, right? That's kind of what you have to do. You just do your thing. Here, yet again, you see? I'm not going in super deep. I'm kind of staying back. Polymorphing the Jarvan when he goes in. And we are getting all the kills. I'm buffing my allies all the time. Look at this, look at this. I buff my Lee Sin as well, and he does not die. I contributed a lot to this fight. As you can see, everyone is low. Everyone is super low, and the reason that no one died is because of my shields and of my buffs. I buffed and shielded the perfect ally every single time. And in team fights, you also really want to be paying attention to which one of your allies is going to take damage. Now, obviously, your third ability is the one that gives the big shield, but the ultimate is the real deal, guys. The Lulu ultimate is where the real power comes from. And I have to say some things about the ultimate. By the way, I'm going to teach you a lot about the second ability too, because this ability also has a lot of things to do. About the ultimate, there are several ways that you can use it. First way, of course, is to, I can use it on the Jinx, for example, just to give her bonus HP. But there is more ways that I prefer. I don't generally use it on my ADC. I prefer to use it when, for example, on the Lee Sin. When the Lee Sin dives into the enemy team, I pay attention. Okay, are there a lot of enemies around my Lee Sin? If the answer is yes, boom, I use my ultimate. If the answer is no, I keep it. I see a lot of people use the ultimate just for the purpose to buff an ally and give them a lot of HP, just for that purpose. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's definitely the purpose that you want to use it for, but there is more behind it. For example, it knocks up all the enemies around the ally that you buff. It knocks them all up. And that's the thing that's really, really big about the ultimate. So when my Lee Sin dives the enemy team and he's around 4 enemies, I can use my ultimate on him and just knock up all the enemies around him. Oh, I was too late with that one. Yeah, here honestly, it was not really my fault here. It was not really my fault right there, what just happened. So I don't want to take credit for those mistakes. My teammates just went a bit too far. Yeah, that was not my fault. But yeah, you want to use your ultimate when one of your allies is in the middle of the enemy team. Let's take a look at what's going to happen in this fight. Obviously, I'm buffing the Orianna because she's taking a lot of damage. So I'm going in, I got the kill. So I used my flash on the Sona because I wanted to get the kill to proc Jinx's passive. Here I actually killed Seraphim as well with my first ability. It was beautifully done right there. So what I did there, this is especially why I like Lulu with Jinx. If you can manage to pick up a kill like that as well, where you can flash on an enemy and kill them, your Jinx, who got the assist, is gonna get buffed. She's gonna get bonus movement speed and bonus attack speed, which is gonna allow her to completely demolish the enemy team, guys. So, especially when you play with a Jinx, you have to do things like that. Otherwise, flashing like that's probably not always gonna be worth it. So about the second ability, I was going to teach you something very important about it. We all know that you can buff your ally, right? Like you can buff your ally, give them movement speed and attack speed. But what I really prefer about the second ability is the polymorph. The polymorph duration is actually pretty long. I'm pretty sure it's like, what, 1.5 seconds or something, which is really, really long. So this one is really, really good if an enemy team is diving one of your allies. For example, if the enemy Jarvan goes in with his third ability, and he wants to kill an ally, or he wants to use his ultimate, I can polymorph him. And when he's polymorphed, he cannot use any ability. So first of all, he cannot use any ability. Secondly, and most importantly, this is gonna buy time for your team. For example, if my Jinx, like if he would have gone on my Jinx and I use my polymorph, I will buy time for my Jinx so she can actually escape from the Jarvan, so he can't use his ultimate on her. Oh, here I buffed my Lee Sin, as you saw. He was in the middle of the enemy. I just buffed him right there. That was a perfect ultimate. So the ideal way to use your ultimate is to buff your ally and to knock up enemies. If you can buff and knock up, that's the absolute ideal way. So if your Lee Sin is diving the enemy and they're all focusing him, boom, that's when you use your ultimate. You don't even have to wait until your Lee Sin is at low HP. If like 3 enemies are attacking your Lee Sin and all of them are around you, around the Lee Sin, that's when you use it. Like, so many Lulu players always wait for last second ultimate. I mean, it can be good, don't get me wrong, it can be good, but it's not always ideal. It's often gonna be ideal to just buff your ally when he's in the middle of the enemy. You really want to utilize that knock-up, guys. By the way, another thing that I have to say about Lulu, Lulu actually deals a lot of damage. You may not think that Lulu deals a lot of damage, but Lulu's passive, which gives her the pixie, the fairy, which helps her, it deals a lot of damage. Like every basic attack that you do actually deals a lot of damage, guys. So you don't just wanna keep buffing your allies all the time. Sometimes it's also good to just damage the enemy yourself, right? If your ally doesn't have a lot of attack speed, for example, it could be a good idea to just damage the enemy yourself in some situations. Here you can see I used my ultimate on myself to knock up the Jarvan, polymorphing the enemy that went onto my team, and Teemo cannot do anything. Did you see that? I polymorphed the Teemo and he could not do anything right there, and we just killed him easily. Polymorph is one of the strongest CC abilities in the game, really, especially when an enemy single-handedly dives your team and thinks he can just get a free kill. No, you have a Polymorph, guys. Your Polymorph is gonna save your teammates' asses, guys. Oh, close. Let's look at what's gonna happen here. I buff my Lee Sin. I help him. He still goes in. A bit too far by the Lee Sin, but yeah. I did my job right there, you know, buffing him. So with Lulu, you're never gonna be frontlining, by the way. You never ever wanna frontline. You always let your team frontline, and you wanna stay in a safe position and just buff your allies. Really, just buff your allies. And the amount of value that you're gonna be providing with all your buffs is really, really big, guys. It's really, really big. Like, really big. I keep saying it, but this is really important with Lulu. You always want to position passively. You want to be all the way in the back, just buff your allies, use your ultimate, things like that. And when an enemy dives your team, polymorph that enemy, like I did with the Timo right there. Oh, as you can see, like if I overextend, I'm screwed. Polymorph the enemy that's diving your team and damage them, basic attack them. That's what you do, guys. That's really how you play Lulu. It's really not that hard to play Lulu, but what is hard is using your third ability at the appropriate time in the laning matchup. Because in teamfights you can just buff your ADC, right, if your ADC is a good player. But in the laning matchup, it's not easy to use your third ability. So another thing that I have to say is, this is a general tip that I have for you when playing support. I really don't like how everyone plays support, you know, like a lot of players just stay in their lane, right? They just stay in their lane and support their ADC. No, don't do that. Look at how I'm playing Lulu, guys. I've been in mid lane. I've been everywhere. Like I've been everywhere in this game, and I'm just buffing my Lee Sin, buffing my mid laner, buffing everyone that I have to buff. Right? That's what you want to do. You don't just want to stay with one of your. Here, you saw how I used my ultimate on the Lee Sin. I knocked up one of the enemies. I knocked up the enemy Sona, and we got the kill. Sometimes it's just good to use your ability, your ultimate, just for the CC, as you can see. By the way, with Lulu, you actually have a lot of things to save your team. First of all, you have your third ability, right? Your third ability to shield one of your allies. Secondly, you have your ultimate. Third of all, you have heal, the summoner spell heal. And fourth, you have redemption. You have all these tools to save your team. Oh, here we screwed up. Here we really screwed up. Here we really screwed up. This was just stupid. I don't really have much to say about it. It was just really stupid. Like really damn stupid. Wow. And okay, in this game I went for the Umbro's Glaive, and the reason for that is the enemies have a lot of ability power. They have Seraphim, they have Orianna, and they have Timo. These are 3 ability power champions, so that's why I went for the Umbro's Glaive. And I'm telling you guys, this is one of the most underrated items in the game, because what this item is gonna do to me now, it's gonna make me so tanky against those ability power champions. It's really good, guys, against those champions only. If you're not against those champions, it sucks. The item kind of sucks, but the magic resist that it provides you, that's kind of what makes it worth it. By the way, guys, you know, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you give it a like. It really helps the channel. And you know, I'm posting a lot of interesting things on my Instagram right now, right? Like in my story, especially because I'm hanging out with my friends. So if you're interested in that, check out my Instagram. You know, follow me there. There's a link in the description. Oh, I flashed to him and I saved his ass. That was so good. Oh my god, did you see that? I flashed to the Akali and I saved his ass. But he still died. Come on, Akali. I got your ass and then you still die, really? And by the way, guys, I'm also doing a skin giveaway every month. 10 skins on YouTube. And all you gotta do to enter is put down comments under the videos in this month. But I'm also giving away 5 skins on Instagram. And there's not a lot of people entering on Instagram. Like there's tens of thousands of people entering on YouTube. But there's only a few hundred on Instagram. And I'm giving away 5 skins on Instagram. And all you gotta do is put down comments under my posts. And I'll pick 5 random winners, you know, from those posts. I'll do that every month as well. Because why the hell not, right? Like, why wouldn't I give away skins? Oh, man. That's funny. That's good. So you can see here, like, just look at my kill participation, right? I have 2 kills and 17 assists. I've got to save my babies, I said. Yeah, when you play Lulu, your teammates are your babies. You know, you're going to be their mother. You're going to be saving them. So I have 2 kills and 17 assists from a total of 27 kills. 19 kills are all from me. Well, not by me, but I've assisted my team in 19 kills, guys. That's really good. As a support, you want to have that high kill participation, of course. Oh, we screwed up here. Yeah. You want to have that high kill participation as a support player, really. It's really, really important. And the way that you can get those high kill participation is obviously if you roam around. You know, you don't want to stay with your ADC, because if you do that, you're not going to get the high kill participation and your teammates are going to lose a few kills. They're not going to be able to get as many kills if you're not there, guys. So if you're a beginner support, or if you're an advanced support who doesn't rotate a lot, now let me give you a few simple tips to when to rotate. I mean, the first thing is, it's kind of a feeling. You kind of have to feel when you have to rotate, but I don't just want to leave you with that stupid tip. So first of all, Rift Herald. Rift Herald is a really good indication as to when to rotate. So when the Rift Herald is up, and Dragon has already been taken, for example, it could be a really good idea to join your team with the Rift Herald fight, because then you could be in a 4 versus 3 situation if the enemy support doesn't rotate, which should be a guaranteed winning fight. It should be. So, and that means a lot. All you gotta do is just tell your ADC, yo man, I'm gonna rotate. Play it a little safe in your lane. You know, I'm not there for you. Just play it a little safe, and you should be fine. And if your ADC is not half stupid, he's gonna play a little safe and he's not gonna die. Keep in mind though, when you rotate, you don't want to be rotating too long, because if you rotate too long, obviously it's gonna cost you a turret, because your ADC is gonna be alone against the support and another ADC. It's gonna I misused my ultimate here, by the way. It was a mistake. Yeah, if you rotate, your lane is gonna be vulnerable. You have to keep that in mind, however. So you're kind of trading off lane pressure for helping your team in another side of the map. That's why I said Rift Herald is the perfect indication, because when your team takes the Rift Herald, even if you lose a turret, it's still kind of worth it, because Rift Herald gives your team 300 gold, the one that takes it, and you could take a turret from it and apply a lot of pressure. So and we won the game here. We just won the game. We straight up won the game here, as you can see. So rotating also when your jungler is invading the enemy, or if there is a fight in the jungle, things like that. That's when you can rotate as a support player and help your team, guys. So again, sorry for the quality of this video. I just wanted to make the video because, you know, I felt kind of sad of not making a video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let's take a look at how much damage. Oh, I got S rating, by the way. I did almost 8,000 damage, which is pretty good as a Lulu, right? So, thank you guys very much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, even though, you know, blah blah blah. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye. A bit awkward because I have to actually stop the recording with this hand, so bye bye.